All right, guys, welcome back. Welcome back. This is Wicked Raider 22 coming to you, of course, with an update. We're going to move a couple of things around here. And if you are joining for the first time, we are on that beginner's journey of this should be our 7th day of logging in. So once we come out of here, do a little refresh, I think we should be definitely on time. But I want to share this with you. I have been running multi battles. If you were logged in a couple of days ago, we got a huge download to get started with the newest tournament to encourage you to get in, get those multi battles done and campaign, dungeon, go into the arena. And so for some of us, depending on where you are in your journey, you may not have looked at the multi battle. So here's a good example. On this particular multi-battle, the goal was number one, to max level as many champions as I could. And I ran 50 battles in total, I do believe. Number two, the other thing that I definitely wanted to do was to go in and see how many lower champions I could also come in and max out. Multi-battles are a really great way for you to hit a level in campaign that you are comfortable with. You have your lead champion, which for us is Elhain, of course, and to allow her the opportunity to take several of your champions through the same journey. And guys, just before you click start for your multi battles, you have looked at whether you wanted to continue to replenish with gems. Do you want it to continue even when your champions are maxed out? Do you want it to continue even if you're defeated? Pick those options very, very carefully. And we've hit those before. But here's the other thing that I want you to also keep in mind. Go in and edit your queue. Make sure you queue up those other champions that are in your queue that can benefit from being upgraded. If you take a look here, we were able to go in and max out these 3 champions. So, for example, Elhain began with a small team. I want to say I picked 3 champions that I knew I was using for food. After these 3 were able to level all the way up and max out at level 20 because they are still 2 stars, it's going to switch out and pick up the next 3. These 3 went from level 1 to level 12, and then it did not make it to the final champion. So what I've started doing is front loading a lot of those lower champions that I know I want to move up, but it also allows that lead to max themselves out as well. Because the overall goal, of course, is to get her to a level 60. Total XP earned 324K, which is really good off of 50 rotations, especially this early in campaign. And then, of course, we earned silver. Now, rewards that were earned, all of these for right now. The shards are pretty cool. We did get 2 good pieces of equipment that we can use as far as 3 stars, so we'll hold on to those for a while. But we also gained 6 champions, 3 copies of 2 champions in particular. And so if you were running, for example, a faction war and you had no other champions in this area, I would go ahead and use these duplicates to upgrade my skill level and then add a little equipment and run these champions through the beginning portion of that faction war. What will make faction wars more difficult and something you have to be very careful about, you have a very limited number of champions to pick from. Now, as you go through, there are going to be some other things up here. There was actually an update last night that this computer has been running through the entire time. And so they were able to run that stage, kind of get everything in. And now we're going to do a short little stop. We were able to collect a little bit of additional silver, of course. So what I'm going to have to do, or what I will do for a second, is we may have to log out. Oh, we don't have to. So there has been an update. And look, here we are, 7 days in. I have seen videos for Deliana, and some people like her as a early champion. And as you can see, here's another one, new player rewards too. So you're going to be able to get your reward on tomorrow. This is a really good set. This set has served me well. It is a set that you can achieve through campaign. So here's the other thing. You will sometimes receive an announcement like this one, and you get really excited because you start looking at it. Attacks, as far as his champion, because he's epic, attacks a single enemy twice, protects an ally with shield, helps them to counterattack, attacks an enemy with the chance to provoke, and place a continuous heal on himself. And then you come down here and it's like, whoa, 4-star equipment, 5-star. Don't get me wrong. The amount of ability that you can tack on to these artifacts can be helpful, especially if you're going in and applying those to particular champions. So it's another one. As a new player, you definitely have access to a couple of rewards that other players don't have access to. The thing is, everyone that's coming in will be afforded that opportunity as well. Now, don't forget, we also looked ahead and started farming those red potions so that we could ascend Deliana really quickly. And we're going to kind of adjust our team and see where that goes for us as well. Still going in for our daily logins. We're going to collect this nice little ancient shard that for right now, honestly, unless it is Deliana coming out of this thing, we don't need to use. We're going to go through and do all of our claiming. There are a couple of limited bundles. These are a big one. You will hear different people talk about that multi-battle. The multiple attempts, if you are getting deeper in farming, you will notice they will normally set you up with about 30 multi-battles per day, which, are really, really helpful. Be careful and be very mindful of how you choose to use those. We are going to check in. We were running that tournament, looking at clan activity, for example, which, we're okay. Haven't quite gotten there yet, but did earn a little experience. They do keep up with the last time you logged in. If you kind of look at our playing power, 59K guys, we aren't doing bad, to be honest. So we're starting to make some strides there as well. We're going to continue to move around, go into our index, because we have definitely acquired a few people. Deliana is going to fall into that legendary category. She's actually the first legendary that I pulled with my pay-to-play account, well, that I acquired, because she, this event has been going on for a little bit. And I know that after she leaves with the login event, you can still pull her via shards. Now, depending on where you are, how you structure your teams, and honestly, like most of us, it comes down to preference. For me, she has been an invaluable champion. On my other account, I have her paired with Kale, War Priest, and Sniper was my original 4-point team. I received her, I felt like, pretty quickly up front. So I was on a roll. And the only thing, it took me a while to learn about Ascension and, laying skills and everything else. But Deliana comes in with a Heart Stiller. She's going to attack all enemies, has a 50% chance of placing a leech debuff for 2 turns. I'm going to tell you now, this leech becomes really important. It's really nice in arena, in beginning arena. It's one of those abilities where if the initial attack itself does not take that enemy out, this leech is a lifesaver in the end. Sometimes by the time your other champions, 1 or 2 other champions, take their turn with their first skill, leech will hit them again and they're done. She's not a hard champion to book, which is the other thing that's really, really nice. Her second skill, Withering Scorn, attacks one enemy, has a 75% chance of placing a 50% decreased resistance debuff for 2 turns. If the target is under a block buff, debuff also applies a debuff spread effect, taking any decreased resistance debuff on the target and placing it on all enemies. The damage is based on HP. For her, if you look here, her HP, honestly, I like to build her kind of tanky and with speed. Her speed is 98. Yeah, you can bump it. Her accuracy is 30, which you can most definitely bump. I will tell you this, in a dungeon, when you're dealing with a clan boss, this particular skill becomes really nice. 90% of the time, early game, it is going to eliminate that enemy. So it's a one-shotter and they're done, which is really, really nice. The decreased resistance is also nice. She can be a good campaign farmer, which is the other thing when it comes to Deliana. And take a look at the books. So it doesn't take a large amount of books. Her third attack is going to attack all enemies as well. 75% chance of a block buff. She is known as the debuff or buff queen. So keep that in mind. A lot of her skills, will continuously fire off, and they're going to match depending on how you build your other team. Heals all allies by 5% of their max HP for each block buff, debuff placed by the skill. This is what I focus on as far as scrolls and mastery. When you start going in and equipping this particular champion. Fills his champion's turn meter by 10% for each block buff, debuff attempt blocked or resisted by the enemy team. So anyway, even when it doesn't land, her turn meter will still be filled. And take a look, we're up to level 6 on this particular skill. So not bad at all. I have seen some people require 10 books, it's a lot. There is a passive involved, increases the champion's accuracy by 2 for every 1,000 HP that the champion has. So that's another reason why a lot of people push that HP. Places a 25% strengthen buff on all allies for 2 turns every time this champion's HP drops below 50%. Here's something else to keep in mind. When you pull Deliana, notice that after you did your 7-day login, they came in with a new player second reward. If you remember that second reward, the artifacts that you could acquire from logging in were tied to HP. Now think about it. That's awesome. Like it's coming in and filling up that need up front. Guys, it comes down to strategy. That's going to encourage you to continue to log in so that if you don't have what you need to equip this champion, you most definitely can equip the champion anyway. We're going to go around and we're going to hit all of these since I was logged in. Another thing about campaign, you have to excuse my printer in the background, and it's cleaning itself. The other thing about campaign, guys, keep in mind is you're able to remain logged in. You're going to be pulling these rewards anyway. So as you're coming back, you are capitalizing on the amount of time that's been spent dealing with that particular campaign. And campaign is becoming more and more exciting as well. Got a couple of milestones in here. We're going to upgrade artifacts to start earning these. So we'll definitely see a little progress here. Champion training events, level them up, upgrade their rank, and get your hands on huge rewards. So both of these we will be taking a look at. If you look at the amount of crowns that are needed, these are going to accumulate as you kind of move through your day. So it's a good chance for that. This tournament here, so we have a couple of tournaments that are going to end in a little bit. Classic Arena Takedown, guys. Look at the Arena Awards. 30. We are definitely going for this one today. Hands down, over and over again. And if you make it in the top portion, even if you're in the top 10, you get additional rewards as well. So that's going to be a big one. And we can acquire quite a few arena points. Oh, now this one is pretty good. We're going to claim this reward. Get champions by any means necessary, shards, market, campaign, dungeons, etc. So even pulling champions, just logging in and getting Deliana has gotten us here. You can acquire 20 shards for this champion. These books, oh my gosh, are so tempting. And then, of course, you have rewards for the top 5. So there's always some reason to encourage yourself to kind of push, do your upgrades, and keep everything together. All right, daily playtime rewards. Oh, some of these are nice. So we have some equipment that we can definitely collect and do our thing with. So I go in and collect everything but the energy. I leave my energy, my XP, my rewards, and this is all the leftover energy that we have available as well. So I'm going to tell you guys now, we're going to most definitely hit the arena to start as soon as we kind of deal with our champion. So we have Deliana. You can see that she starts as a 5-star. Whoa. I'm trying to think, guys, do all legendaries start as 5 stars? I don't know. I'm gonna assume yes. I'll be honest. The first time I got her, and I remember her opening up, and it was all fancy, and I'm like, oh, that's different. And I'm looking at the champion, and I didn't use her, guys. I didn't use Deliana probably until a week or so after I had her, and I just happened to pop her in, and oh my word, I was mad at myself for that one. So I want to build her with speed, number one. I would definitely like to build in a little accuracy. And I'm going to look at this ring and see, you never have the ring that you want. And usually these are the hardest ones to acquire. But we haven't pulled rings just yet. So we'll pull those little lights off so they won't be new anymore. Let's see what we can hit her with. Now, I'll be honest, Immortal might be a good one. This early on, Immortal does HP by 15%, heals by 3% every turn. Divine Life, HP is 15%, so they match, plus 15% HP shield for 3 turns. Interesting, interesting. Or Divine Speed. Ooh. Y'all, I'm tempted. All right. I think I want to build her out with a hard hit and speed. And I'm saying that because I've never had a team with Elhain before. And I'm thinking my top 4, we talked about this before, when it comes to champions, building teams, and we don't have a lot of champions that we're picking from, but there are some that really do interest me because I would love to put Deliana and Shield Guard on the same team for some reason. I'm thinking about that one too. But I promised myself we would stay here because we've got to make some sacrifices eventually. And it's going to take resources, honestly, to get her where we know we want her to be, because you got to take her to 50 right now, which I am pretty sure my Deliana guys started as a 4-star. So I'm impressed right here. I don't think she started as a 5th star. If yours was, I don't know. I don't remember. But for some reason, that one throws me off. Now, we could do both. I'll be honest. We could HP her all the way up. I wonder what that would kind of look like. Or I could be real, oh my gosh, I could be real hard hitting with it. And this is the set that is shown. Retaliation is the set that is shown those daily logins as well. I don't have the max I need here. Lifesteal is going to heal by 30% of damage that's dealt, which that can be helpful. Resistance, we haven't come to the point where I think that resistance would be my most helpful. Accuracy could be interesting because it only requires, 2 pieces. Critical rate is another one. Additional speed and offense is another. Attack plus 15%. So honestly, we're going to try this one. I think I'm going to, we can't get both sets on it. We can't get all 3 sets on it either. So we're going to have to pick because we either have the weapon or the chest plate, the weapon or the shield, or the weapon or the other shield. So here, I think I'm going to go for Divine Speed is what I'm thinking. I want to see if I can actually upgrade this to level 12. We have a little silver here. You can skip these animations once you make it to level 40. And this is nice. I used to get nervous about it, and then I realized you're going to spend that silver no matter what. And honestly, it's already kind of predetermined how many times it wants to go. And it would be quicker if it just will upgrade it, which sometimes it doesn't. So we're going to take everybody to level 10. We can't enchant anything at this point. So let me go ahead and equip these 2 pieces first. Upgrade. I'll put it in level 12. We're going to try to at least get it to level 10. So that'll boost our stats a little bit. And we're going to see where does it take us? Now, Here's another question. Are you guys going to build for speed? Are you going to build for, and then where in the game are you looking as far, whenever we say speed, you're kind of thinking about, is this going to be an arena moment? I know she's going to become a hand-to-hand lead. I want her and Elhain to run side by side the majority of the time. And I've got to pick. Do I want to come in here with a 4-star, which I don't think I'm going to come in with a 4 set. I want to add more HP, to be honest. And it's one of those, I know what pieces of equipment I want compared to what I have. I do want to give a little defense, which will be nice because I don't want her dying all the time. And then, of course, we'll probably come in and I guess fill in with offense. It's amazing how you get so many chest plates. And I'll be honest, one thing that frustrates me, and when you get your hands on these, kind of hold on to them for a while. There are a lot of moments where it's hard to find boots. I don't know what it is about boots, and you can campaign and farm for them all the time. And for some reason, you just cannot get a pair of boots to save your life. So we have some critical rate boots. We got accuracy boots, which I mean, we could boost that. Wouldn't mind boosting this HP, but right now it's probably as good as we have it. I would love to get one more set for that one, but we're gonna just have to slap some boots on here, to be honest. So we're gonna go through. Let's pick something else and then come back and let accuracy fill in the gaps, which I guess, because speed, we could do boots with speed, and then we could also do, there's no helmets, the shield is kind of the gloves are kind of we could do critical rates because there's a set of boots there. We could do a little helmet. I would prefer to put a 3-star on this helmet. So defense may be a good one. So we'll go here. And we'll come back and we will change this one because honestly, we will have to. We're going to figure out in our dungeon, visit a couple of places a little bit later to figure out which pieces of equipment or artifacts are best when it comes to this particular champion. Now, keep in mind with all of your champions, what you're equipping them with will change based on the enemy you're facing. So it also depends on where in the game this champion will be used the most. When you reach level 30, the other good thing is you're able to secure away your team. So you can go in and actually save your teams, which is really, really helpful. So that'll keep you from going back and forth. It's a little crit damage, so that'll be helpful. Deliana's attacks, especially in arena. Oh, man, beginning arena, this should be good. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put her in everything we have that is going to fit her. And then I'll take you guys to arena and kind of show you the combination I'm thinking in my head. Team-wise, it should work. You still have Elhain, which if we're able to move her up and upgrade her another level, we'll notice that she'll get to the point where she will passively take that extra turn. Eris is another one who will passively take additional turns, and it can be extremely helpful in certain battles. That's another one that you definitely want to keep your eye on. We can add, I guess, speed, and we'll take this little rough little shield, guys, because after that, we're kind of stuck. I mean, we could add a little bit more HP, but and I'm looking here just to kind of get a feel for, what would be the best thing to put her in. If I only go with speed, I'm adding that one thing. Critical rate is another one that's a possibility, I guess. But you're just looking basically toward defense, a little bit of HP boost. So it's not a lot. It's enough to kind of grab your attention. And now this accuracy boost will give me a little bit more defense. It's all defense. And then after that, we get a little thin on boots for a set that only requires 2. And I think the most stats I saw, honestly, may have come from Yeah. We'll just throw a life set out there. We'll just throw this one on there, kind of see how it goes. At this point, I like to upgrade everybody at least to level 8, somewhere between 8, 10, and 12. There are very few champions, even in my pay account, where I actually take artifacts above level 12. You have to be careful with that instant upgrade, guys, because once you start hitting level 10, 11, and up, as you're trying to get them to 16, because you'll notice some of these will stop. You will go through a ton of silver before your champion commits, the artifact commits to upgrading. And what it does is you're watching the animation. It took me a while to pay attention to the silver because even when it fails, you're still being charged. So I'm sitting here like, oh, it has a low, upgrade chance, but it'll get there. Like here, we're kind of stalling out. You may fail 4, 5, 6 times before that next level is reached. And the thing is, you want to kind of get your artifacts to around the same spot. So I'll take them to a base level of 10 because all of my other artifacts are there. You know what I'm saying? And we're going to, did we upgrade the shield already? I think we got this baby. It's 2 and 8. And let's see if we can get you toward a 12. I think we'll try. And sometimes you'll go back to it and it'll go straight in. But silver is kind of hard to come by as well. And that one additional level at this point will not make much of a difference. I don't have a ring to put on her just yet. There's something else I want to work on. But stat-wise, this is the improvement that we made. So just with our artifacts, of where we are. We've added for HP, attack, defense, and speed. We've also, added to the critical rate damage. We're up to 83%. Resistance is 81 and accuracy is 40. So we've made some pretty decent improvements. Everyone else, I think if they can have a ring, we had a ring for them. Except it's undead. So Deliana and Rotting Mage are the ones that we'll kind of focus on. We have some champions we also need to upgrade. Now, don't forget, we start the conversation. We know the skills for this particular champion. Guys, when you ascend them, a lot of champions, that's when they are given that aura. So it's going to be unlocked as you start to ascend. And we're about to head to the tavern to work on that one as well. But the other area, you've got to go through Minotaur. You have definitely got to take the time and earn those scrolls that you need. These make a huge difference. The other area that's going to make a difference is arena and being able to upgrade your entire team skill sets as well. Let's go to tavern. All right, so let's see what we can do. We could ascend her, I do believe. Let's try to ascend our champion. Now, if you notice here, we went to ascend first, increases basic stats. So she actually needs that greatest potion. Go over to your potion mixer button. For the longest, I did not touch this button. I would come, if I didn't have what I needed, I would go, to another area and then come out of tavern. And I could not figure out for the longest, where I could acquire these potions. So I'm pushing through dungeon, trying to earn these, not realizing that's what the potion mixer is for. We ran a campaign and ended up with 111 of these. Here is the trick. You have to have 10 of these to make one of these, 10 of these to make one of these. And look at how many she needs. So this number is going to go from 1, 2, 3, 4. It gets intense because that's where the amount of time you're spending on your champion is really going to increase. We literally got these specifically for her. And I'm not going to use all of them. Here's the other thing is you're going from a lesser force potion to a greater force potion. Keep this number in mind. Look at the amount of silver you are committing to this champion. Warning, warning, warning. I have ascended so many champions that I eventually use as food. Don't do it. It is a huge, huge waste of resources. There are going to be times when you are forced to do it. And guys, it's going to break your heart. We're now going to take these, which let's add one more. 20 of these will now turn into 2 of these. Look at the silver input. Look at the silver input. All right, so keep that in mind. So this ascension has to be worth it. So we can now, we're still short. I told you these would be important. Guys, we do not have enough. Oh gosh, I am heartbroken. We've got to run this dungeon. We won't have a choice, to be honest. Well, we'll go ahead and send her since we're going to go to this dungeon either way it goes. Sniper is going to be important. Sniper, we're going to get to a point where Sniper will likely be replaced on the team with Deliana. I've never done that one before. So until we get to the area where we actually have 5 champions on a team, that's probably looking like the easiest thing for us to do. Now, I will try to upgrade rank on a couple of these. You guys are not ready because we don't have enough people to take our higher champions to the next level. 1, 2, let's try to send some of these. See if we can do that. Now, you're going to use fusion champions. If you're to the point where you're ready to do fusions, hey, go for it. But if you have not gotten to that point, number 1, you're chasing down particular champions to use in that example. 1, 2, 3. I'm trying to see if I wanted to upgrade. I'm willing to sacrifice her. I don't want to sacrifice Sniper for that reason. I would prefer to take her to the next level. We can upgrade these guys here as well. So it doesn't take much as you're upgrading those lower champions. Keep in mind, don't leave these guys behind. Every time you're given access to multi-battles, I have learned to run my multi-battles for the sole reason of upgrading those champions that will become food. You also have to really resist going in and eating everybody right away, because at that point, you're not getting champions to a higher level. I want to also be careful because I know I want to at least upgrade one of my shield guards. Because remember, there was another champion. A lot of people say he slept on. I have not personally. I know I can upgrade the skill. Upgraded this champion. We're going to upgrade his skills because I do have 2 copies of them. I think it's worth it to go in if you're given a copy, to be honest. The other thing is, yeah, we can't even Bakar. You're not having tools to duplicate this shit. Yeah. Upgrade skills. Everybody wants their skills upgraded. Yeah, that legendary book is not, so we're not doing that right now. So upgrade rank. I only want to have that little dot at the top. These are all my little guys at the bottom that I can move, of course, to a 2-star. And so we'll keep those as we need them as well. So right now, let's figure out what direction. I know we're going to do arena today. Arena is going to be a big one. I know that I also need to come up with, because I have 4 stars, I want to ascend Elhain to a 5-star. So I'm willing to sacrifice 1, 2. We need to upgrade 2 more champions so that we have access to upgrade Elhain as we would like. So this is where it gets a little tricky. I could go in and kind of give up some champions, but I'm not prepared to do that only because those are my team builders. So last but not least, make sure you are checking in with those quests, guys. You're going to be achieving these. And honestly, by the time we run through arena a few times, we should be good. What I do want to do, and don't forget to check Clan Boss, let's put Deliana on a team and see how we do. Now notice this one. Our defense is really chucking along. All right, so they've stayed defeated quite a bit. And what we're going to end up having to do is go in and buck up our defensive team so that we can, make it through. But I'm definitely sure we can make it to that platinum really, really quickly. This took me a while. And I think it took longer on that first account because you're literally going through and trying to figure out where everyone belongs. Let's see what we got. You're gonna see a lot of Delianas at this point. Some people have had the chance to, and it wasn't me. Some of us did get her at 4-star because I didn't think she came in at 5-star originally, which is really impressive. But getting her to that level 50, this will be a great time, honestly, to take those multi-battles, make her the lead because she's not as strong as I want her to be, and to rock it out. And that's what we're going to have to do. I'm going to need to ascend her because she's going to die quite a bit. And Elhain at the moment is going to prove to be a bit more resilient than she is. And I'm not used to that. She's actually one of my absolutely champions. So that's the thing. We're going to go through and, of course, finish those top 5 battles. That was at 21K. Oh, here's a champion I have not seen before. And the thing is, when you're running into Delianas, it becomes really difficult if you have not upgraded your own. So we're going to come out of Arena. Because Arena's really bucked up since we were last here. And we're going to go ahead and get those potions for her. And that's going to be our focus of the day. Those white potions, of course, will be used for a number of champions, almost every champion you have. So those that you do receive them through like quests and challenges sometimes, but a lot of times there are certain battles you'll receive them as well. But that dungeon is one of those that will always, always be open. And that's going to be huge too. We're going to lose this battle. So we're going to come out. There we go. And you're going to go back and forth. We were at 1209. And as you can see, let's go down in abilities, see how we do. That's going to be the big one with her, going back and forth and kind of figuring out what I want to put on her. Once we have a higher level attack series, that's definitely where she's going to go because I need that attack power more than anything else. I think that will benefit her as well because having that level 1 is not going to serve a purpose if there's not enough ump behind it. And right now, there is not enough ump behind that one. So 21K we can handle comfortably. Make sure you're also keeping your eye on, like here, probably not going to be successful because this Deliana at 47 is no joke, y'all. Like, even if you just take a look at the HP meters and what she's capable of doing, taking out the other champions won't be the issue, but making sure I have at least 2 to 3 champions just on her will probably make the biggest difference, but I doubt if this group is going to be able to do it. Now, my Deliana on my opposite account, absolutely. I could run through this battle by myself, and I have to run campaigns alone as well. So where we have Elhain is now where we're going to push our Deliana. So that's where we want to go. So don't back up from it. You know, don't run from it too much. But that back and forth as far as Arena is a really good way for you to kind of gauge where you are. I picked this team because this is one of those original lineups with Crusader included, Sniper, War Priest, and Elhain. So you're able to kind of see and compare where we were comparing to where we are now. And I'm going to take Deliana most likely and run her through the dungeons to get a few points and then put her in, of course, boom, we hit it, team. So go ahead and make that collection and you should be good for the day. So guys, keep me posted on what you've pulled, where you are. If you were able to pull Deliana, let me know what you equipped her with. You know, what was in your little arsenal so far? What intentions do you have and where do you think this is going to go? Remember that even as we're running through tournaments, we're doing clan versus clan. You know, we're looking at all of these different ways for us to get things done. Classic Arena, we've already earned those 2. So we're going to do this 30. It's a really simple, easy 30 for us to get involved in. We'll finish up that particular challenge. I will run Deliana through campaign and a couple of dungeons to get some experience on her. And then, hey, I'll keep you posted and let you know exactly where we are. If you want to see longer play, we're still working on that Twitch channel, but I'll definitely keep you updated on when it will be available. Other than that, guys, let me know. How are your champions doing? What are your teams looking like so far? And hey, we'll see you soon. I am Wicked Raider 22. If you've made it this far in the video, don't forget to subscribe and Have a good one.